Good Wednesday morning. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Kim Castro. We've got a very close eye on the Gulf as we continue to watch the system exiting Florida, riding along the upper Gulf Coast and eventually tracking west. Does this system get a name? It might not matter because we are collecting quite a bit of tropical moisture, and with that flinging in our direction, it is going to have some sort of impacts, if not directly over Houston, very close by. Right now, as of the 7 o'clock advisory from the National Hurricane Center, we're still looking at what is a tropical wave, an area of interest 93L. If it gets enough organization, and as you can tell right now, is really widely spread, not well organized. If it does, though, that's when they would upgrade its criteria to a tropical depression and potentially even a tropical storm. If we do see that happen, it would get the next name on the list, which is Dexter. As of right now, though, it's got 30-mile-an-hour winds. It's got lots of thunder shower activity. Most of it, though, offshore. There are a couple of rain bands wrapping around Panama City right now, and as it moves west at 12 miles an hour. So these are the latest spaghetti plot models. You'll notice they are right on the cusp of scraping land or getting over water, and that makes a huge difference. Of course, if this system rides closer towards land, then it would have a very low chance of gaining any organization. And right now, the center of the system is over the panhandle of Florida. Now, this starts to migrate a little bit further south and starts getting less disrupted by land and gets more aid from warm Gulf waters. That's when it could get better organization and potentially pick up a little bit more intensity. Right now, a lot of the models are pretty split on that. All of them have this tracking due west and eventually taking a turn north over Louisiana. There are a couple of outlier models that do want to send this on a continued path west, at which point we would have to update you on the potential of a little bit more moisture tracking closer to Texas. But as of now, there's still a 40% chance of that system gaining any organization. And this hasn't changed since yesterday. So far the National Hurricane Center isn't convinced that this is going to track far enough south to get more of that Gulf aid. However, we are going to start to see some rain impacts from this. So check out the time frame. This is overnight Thursday into Friday. So now we're looking at 3:30 in the morning. Those outer bands starting to make their way towards Houston, right smack dab in the middle of Harris County. And this has the potential to bring us several rounds as this system churns, as it rotates. It's going to bring us some afternoon downpours on Friday and even some lingering moisture into Friday night. So that's a snapshot at 7 o'clock. You'll still notice some rain lingering for our northern cities and counties. We're taking a close look at the rain potential through our short range models at this point because we're within reach. And a couple things to note. Early this morning, there was some output from these models bringing 3 to 4 inches north of I-10, east of 45. So this would include a portion of Harris County. The latest run, which just got updated about an hour ago, shows the majority of the moisture further east. So this would be more in line with that system taking that due north turn in Louisiana. So we could see some higher rainfall totals along the bay in Chambers County and in the southern portion of Liberty County. You'll notice anywhere between 1, 2, maybe 3 inches of rainfall, especially in those deeper purples or that little bullseye of red right there just north of Anahuac. Otherwise, manageable rain is what the models are putting out for us right now. So that would be 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain across southeast Texas. Now, we're still a little bit of a ways away and we have to see how that system gets organized or doesn't. And then at that point, we could have better estimates as to whether this is going to push a little bit further west or remain a little further east. But the general idea that I want you to keep in the back of your mind, it doesn't matter if this system gets a name or not, it's the rain implications that we really have to watch for over the next couple of days. Right now, the excessive rain outlook is pinpointing a bullseye for Louisiana. So that's that bright red area that you see highlighted. That's a threat level 3 on the 1 to 4 scale to see flood potential. This is an area that could pick up 1/2 foot of rain. So we're talking about 5, 6, 7 inches of rainfall in a short amount of time. And so these areas are already under a flood watch for that potential starting on Thursday, but really peaking on Friday. And notice just west of there, so for our eastern cities and counties, Chambers and Liberty, like I showed you that bullseye there, there is a slight risk, so a level 2 on the 1 to 4 scale, and then the threat diminishes the further west that you go. So for Houston proper downtown, as of now, the threat level is a 1. There's abundant supply if that system starts to push a little bit further offshore and gets over open water. 85, 86, 88 degree temperature for the sea surface availability that this system could have. So that's something that we have to monitor because it's splitting hairs whether or not it goes north or south. It's going to be something to track throughout the rest of the day into tomorrow, which is why I always advise you to watch these updates at least twice a day at this point because we're getting really close. So you could catch Cheetah in the morning. She has your update live on TV from 5 to 7 a.m. and then she also streams on KHOU Plus from 7 to 9 a.m. I have your update at noon, lunchtime. That's when I can give you what I'm seeing. Then we have another update from meteorologist Pat Calvin at 4. Then there's another meteorologist update from our chief, David Paul, at 5, 6, and 10 p.m. So lots of time frames, lots of windows of opportunity to catch you at your preferred schedule. It's important information to get though, especially because this is a system that's in the Gulf. So it's certainly of interest for us. Shear is going to be something that helps us out a little later on in the week. So right now, this closed low is a little further north that the model is putting out, so it's actually not getting interrupted by too much shear just yet. It's not going to be very interrupted as we go into tomorrow either. It's once we head closer to Friday that it starts to encounter a little bit more disruption and could potentially be a little bit less organized. What I'm seeing right now on visible satellite imagery, you'll notice I can see the center of circulation is right over the Panhandle, somewhere just north of Sugar Mill Woods, and you'll notice the convective field from it is really displaced. So this is far away from the center of the motion of the storm. So that's why the National Hurricane Center is not really heightening the potential for this becoming a named storm just yet because it's really not seeing the ingredients. It needs, first of all, to get some organization. It needs a little bit more intensity, and it needs to really develop that warm core. So unless those ingredients are at play, they are going to keep this as a tropical wave as of right now. But as soon as we see any indicators that this is starting to consolidate a little bit better, that's when we'll update you as to if it gets upgraded to a tropical depression or potentially even a tropical storm. So one more time, here's a look at future track so you can see what to expect as we go into the rest of the work week. So for today, this is mainly going to bring outer rain bands to the Florida Panhandle. It is going to bring some moisture to Mississippi and Alabama, and then eventually it gets to New Orleans. That's going to be an area that has to watch this carefully because this could be repeated rounds of rain training thunderstorms that sit over the same spot for a long stretch, and that could be a flood concern Thursday even into Friday. So from there, we'll have to watch the storm as we get into our end of the work week. So Friday is going to be the time frame for us to watch. I think by Saturday, things look a lot better. Lots of that moisture starts to live north, and at that point, it is completely over land and it completely gets disrupted. Again, we'll be watching this one closely. It's close to home, so it's something that is going to be of interest for us and potentially system that alters our plans, especially for our Friday. If we see repeated rounds of rain during the overnight, during the afternoon and evening, we'll have to monitor the potential of ponding, high water spots, and even localized street flooding. From what I'm seeing right now from the rain accumulation, so far so good for Houston and really for Texas. This is going to be something that is impacting Louisiana more so than us. These systems, especially before they develop, can change. Once we get good development and good organization, it's a better indicator as to where they're going to go. We have a better gauge. The models have a better gauge, really, of where they're going to be veering or turning to. Before then, it's run after run. We have to update you. So again, don't forget those newscasts. 12 o'clock coming up, 4, 5, 6, and 10. I'll see you there.